All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome back, guys. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me all loud and clear. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. Lots of movement in the markets today. Gold at all-time highs. NASDAQ having a big sell-off as well. There's been some very, very, very big moves throughout the Asian and pre-London session. Now, let's have a quick look at the calendar, guys. Audio and video good, awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. We do have retail sales today, 1:30 London time, and then you do have the Fed speaking much later on at 6:30 London time. So. That's it for this morning. But what an incredible day here on gold, guys! Absolutely phenomenal. I unfortunately haven't taken any trades today personally. Gold kind of had this incredible move before I could really get in, to be honest. And it was an incredible move. If we just measure from where was Asia, let's say from the 12 p.m. open, this is already up 500 plus ticks, which is huge, absolutely huge. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So gold at new all-time highs, guys. So what do you do when gold's at all-time highs? Do you short it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You don't want to be selling gold at all-time highs, because if you short gold at all-time highs, you're going to get squeezed out, because gold loves to give these false signs of finding some resistance here, finding some resistance, and then just continues to break higher and higher and higher. Gold is absolutely not the one to try and trade against. So yeah, incredible moves here on gold today, guys. Incredible moves. Welcome back, everyone. Good to see familiar faces back in the chat again. A lot of you guys tuning in from all over again, which is amazing. Welcome back, everyone. How's everyone's week been so far? We are midway through the shorter week this week. Remember, it's Easter on Friday, so there'll be no trading on Friday. So we do have a quieter week than normal. I did have a good amount of trades yesterday as well, which I will happily break down for you guys. I had a pretty wild ride in the markets yesterday, to be honest. I ended the day up 370. Which is good. It's not bad, but it was a tough session for sure. It was mentally tough, if anything. Sometimes you have them days in the markets. So before we jump into the analysis today, guys, let's just recap what we were looking at yesterday on gold. And remember, guys, you guys who were here on yesterday's stream, we took some fantastic shorts live. We got short here on gold yesterday in our London session. For any guys who are new here to the Topstep channel, my name is Aaron Trades. I've been trading for about 7 years, mainly focusing on gold and commodity futures. And I've been trading on my own channel for the past 3 years. So welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We got short here yesterday on gold during our stream here on Topstep for a very nice, it was about a 50 tick push lower. So any guys who weren't able to tune into yesterday's stream, definitely worth going back and giving this one a watch, because we had a fantastic short here. So you had amazing buys here in the Asian session, and you had amazing sells in the London session. And if you guys remember, people who were here from yesterday, these were the highs that we were talking about yesterday, where, people who were looking for more of a swing trade on gold, I was explaining that. I would imagine a lot of people are probably trying to short here on gold with their stops sitting just above this high. And as you guys know from watching these streams the past 2 weeks, the way that I love to trade gold is I like to look for buys up into these levels. And I try and look for opportunities to trade into where I believe most people are trying to do something. So I was kind of picturing that a lot of people would be trying to sell gold in the New York session yesterday. However, we did mention that this was going to be a big level to hold here on gold. And you ended up, it was quite later on in the day, it's around, 6 p.m. London time. Still good time for you guys who trade New York, but 6 p.m. London time, it's not really a time I trade personally. I like to be in and out a lot of my trades before even 11 a.m. sometimes, 11 a.m. London. But you ended up having this incredible 100 plus tick push up into this liquidity. So if you guys did take that from yesterday's analysis, well done. It was a very, very, very nice position. The nicest entry here, you guys who have been tuning in, or maybe if you are new, we took fake out sells here yesterday on gold. And what I mean by fake out sells is when price closes above a level and then engulfs straight back below. To me, that's a fantastic buy trap and also a nice fake out. And that's where we took our sells yesterday, based off that fake out. And if we now just go back to the 30-minute, what can you guys see in here that we did yesterday before this entire push up? What did we do? What did we do yesterday before this huge push up here, guys? What did we do? Look at this. We have a lovely support level coming across here. What did we do? We broke below it, and then we aggressively broke back higher, closing above the range for a very nice 135 tick push, confirming a very, very, very nice fake out. And then you can actually see you ended up holding this level beautifully, and it had a lovely run up higher, which was also, you know, very nice. There's your head and shoulders as well, which on a higher time frame is probably that nice morning star play that we've been speaking about as well. So a lot of confluences to take these buys up yesterday. Good job if you guys did take it. It was a very, very, very nice push. I had a bit of a wild ride here on gold yesterday. So you guys saw me on yesterday's stream. I believe I was up about 320 in the London session from our sells. However, you know, I decided that I was happy to risk that and take some more longs here on gold. So I actually got long here again yesterday on gold, looking for this continuation back up into some major highs and come up and liquidate these highs. So I unfortunately got stopped out here on gold yesterday. So I was then back to break even. And then I got some more longs here. I believe it was about this 15-minute fake out here. Once you close below, closed aggressively back above. And I took this for just a little retracement high, which was about, I think it was about a 60 tick move. Yeah, I think about another 30 tick move. So yeah, I had a good winning trade and then a tough loss and then another good winning trade. So it was a bit of a wild ride yesterday, but you know, that's trading sometimes. It's not to say that, you know, my analysis was wrong. It's just not every time you jump on the charts, you're going to be able to get the perfect entry. It'd be fantastic if we could, but unfortunately, trading doesn't work like that. But what I won't do is, you know, take my longs here, get stopped out, and then just start revenge trading. I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. You know, the buys from here didn't work. It's not to say that this trade all the way up, buys up into here, is invalid. It's just not valid right now. So I was happy to take that loss. And what I'll do is I'll stay patient. I'll let the markets come to me. As long as I'm mentally okay. You know, if I take a loss on the day, I don't mind taking another trade. As long as I don't feel like, you know, I'm emotional or maybe going on tilt. What I will do is I'll stay patient. I'll let the markets come to me. And then I'll execute the new position, which was from here to here. So I made back the loss. And then that's where you guys saw ended up the day plus 370. But it was a wild ride for the day, a very, very, very wild ride for the day. But now gold for today. So it was a fantastic buys yesterday. I know a lot of people were looking to short this on gold, but to me there was no real reason to sell gold as long as you hold above this very, very simple level. You know, you had these nice highs in Asia. You liquidated lows, broke higher, held it, and had this fantastic run higher. And you actually, you know what's also interesting here as well, guys. What do we have here? What do we have here from last time we hit all-time highs? We have a very, very, very nice double top. So this is why, you know, gold, next target, once we break these highs, where's the next level? These highs up here, and you smashed through them today. So by the time I jumped on Asia today, yeah, it was too late for me, unfortunately. Gold already had a really big push up here, and there actually was some nice areas to continue buying this. But I was like, you know, I've had a great week. I had a great week last week. Do I want to try and chase all-time highs? Not really. You know, once price has, you know, already pushed, you know, 270 ticks, which is a very, very big push. I'm like, that's fine. You know, a lot of you guys get into trading for the freedom. So when gold's ripping all-time highs, you know, accept it and enjoy the freedom that trading can give you. Remember, you guys don't have to be trading every single day or every single market move. Your job as a trader is to execute the trades that fit your plan, which for me, buying gold at all-time highs here today in Asia isn't really part of my plan. It's certainly not part of my plan to start shorting it. So I was happy to leave Asia today. So worked on some other things, and yeah, just enjoyed the day. And now we're coming back here and seeing what the London session brings. And that's, that's one thing you guys want to get comfortable with is, if you don't get this opportunity, well, guess what? There's still going to be an opportunity later on, or there's still going to be an opportunity tomorrow. But if you start revenge trading and start selling gold at all-time highs for no reason and get squeezed out, you're going to come into the next session with all this, with all these emotions. Which, yeah, if I miss a move on a day, which I don't even really class this as a missed move, Asia just opened and ripped. But if I ever do miss a move, I'm totally okay with it. I used to get fear of missing out a lot when I was early on in my journey, but now I'm like, that's fine. I'm not looking to swing trade. I'm looking to take my consistent piece out of the markets and get on with my day. So if I don't get a trade here today, well, guess what? I'll still, come on tomorrow and see if I get my piece. Not to say we're not going to get traded here in London, but yeah, that's just my reasons behind not jumping in this. There was some nice opportunities to continue buying, but yeah, I was happy. You've pushed all-time highs. Let me go enjoy the day, go enjoy some sun, go walk my dog, go to the beach, do anything other than sitting here and watching gold. So very, very, very nice push here, guys. So obviously, I want to have a look at some other markets today because there's not really too much for us to say here on gold today. There's not real much any point us, doing weekly analysis, doing daily analysis, because we know gold's very, very bullish. And that's what, one thing I did say this week, and especially when I was on the Topstep TV Open on Monday, sorry. I was discussing with Hogue that I wasn't really, I have no real desire to short gold. And it's not to say that gold can't pull back, but it's more so to say that, gold is last week pushed with almost a 3,000 tick weekly candle. So it's not really my job to want to short that, which I think a lot of people, maybe got trapped in shorts this day and missed a very nice buying opportunity. Whereas for me, I was like, nah, if this pulls back, that's fine. The more it does pull back, the more likely I'm going to continue last week's momentum and still have a nice trade. So gold continuing to break high here, guys. Hourly time frame as well is just squeezing higher and higher and higher. And we have just printed a brand new all-time high, which is incredible. So when gold is at all-time highs, how do you trade it? I'll show you guys. It's not to say you can't trade gold today because we're at all-time highs. The way that I like to trade all-time highs, or the way that I like to trade full stop, is any trade that I do take, I'm basing a lot of my trades based off what's to the left. So if I look at gold right now and there's no price action to the left, because this is just pure price discovery, I don't really have any price action to base take profits off, or getting out of the position, or scaling in. Like there's absolutely nothing to the left. So I don't really, if I start buying here, it's like, well, where am I targeting? I don't know what's going to happen up here. We don't know what's going to happen all-time highs. So what I won't do is buy as we're peaking all-time highs. What I like to do is wait for price to find some resistance, pull back, and then I can get my continuation trades. I wait for liquidity to be built up, and then fantastic, find some highs, pull back, and then I can continue trading. Why? Because I actually have price action to the left to base trades off. And this is why we saw here on gold, you peak these all-time highs, I won't trade here, but once you start pulling back and breaking out, that's when I'm like, okay, cool, fantastic, now I can trade. And there was actually really nice buys here, buying up into this double top liquidity region. So that's how you guys want to approach all-time highs. I know it's exciting and it's also scary at the same time seeing gold at new all-time highs, but the way you guys really want to trade this is let price find some resistance, just pull back, which you're going to do at some point. You've done it plenty of times here, plenty of times here, plenty of times here. Let it pull back, grab some lows, re-break up, and then just continue buying. But what you don't want to do is actually trade as you're peaking all-time highs, because these pullbacks, this is a 160 tick pullback. So if you chase the markets at all-time highs, you can lose a lot of money pretty quick. So the way that I want to trade gold today, guys, is very simply, I want to let price come to me. I want to let price range. I want to let price maybe come back down to 3,300 as a nice round psychological level. And then if we can break back to the upside, fantastic. I'll continue to trade. So I just want to be clear with you guys. Not to say you can't trade gold at all-time highs. You just need to know how to trade it, because you're going to see a lot of all-time highs this year, like we have already seen. And the best way that I have seen to trade all-time highs is let the markets come to us. Let price pull back, let us break out, create liquidity in the form of these double tops where most people are trying to short, stops above. And as soon as we start breaking out, what did we just have here as well, guys? What did I just say earlier? You broke below, aggressively broke back above. Fantastic. That's how we can trade gold. And we'll be looked to target highs to the left. What I won't do is, just draw random risk reward tools. I base my price and my targets off what's to the left. So that's what we'll be looking for here today on gold, guys. So with that being said, with gold at all-time highs, we do need to be a little bit patient today on gold, because I'm not going to sell it, that's for sure. But I would like to see price pull back so we can continue buying. So let's I'll have a look at some of you guys' questions, and then we'll break down some other markets as well. I know NASDAQ did have a very, very big sell-off about an hour ago as well, which was huge. We do have the London Open coming in at about 9 minutes as well, guys. So be sure to drop a like. We got lots to cover today, so let's jump in. Let me just see your guys' questions. Do you trade MNQ sometimes? Very rarely. I mainly trade gold, but it's something that I am wanting to look at a lot more. And kind of I like to keep gold, for Asian and London session in New York. I might start to focus on it a little bit more. I was actually going to sell it here today, but I was a little bit skeptical, just because I don't understand it well enough just yet. You had this, look at this, you had this very, very nice low of the day here. And what did you have? You had this nice break back above, aggressive closure back below, and then you just had this just incredible push lower. And yeah, like that was a phenomenal push. This came in at like, what, 6 a.m. London time? This is just a absolutely incredible push. Like, look at this, what a sell-off. Came very early on in the day. But again, I don't know it well enough to know at what times, if it does even move in the London session. But yeah, I was very, very tempted just to short into these lows. Kind of similar to gold, we try and understand what are most people trying to do and how can we take advantage of it. Well, most people are getting trapped on the buys here on gold. On NASDAQ. You had that aggressive engulfing 15-minute candle back below. So that confirms your breakout, your fake out, and then there's your sells, and you're looking to target down here. And that was a beautiful push. Very, very, very big push. Do you analyze NQ? Yes, yeah, absolutely. We'll have a look at all markets here as well. So let's just have a look at the daily, because at least on NASDAQ we're not at all-time highs like gold. So again, NASDAQ's almost coming back down to some very, very, very big support levels. You have some nice resistance that was formed here. You broke above it, you held it, and you tried to squeeze higher, but we couldn't actually break higher. I just want to put this level back on, because this is what we spoke about yesterday in our London session. We spoke about, where's my levels gone? Let me just put these back here, guys. We spoke about yesterday in the London session for price to come up and retest these highs here, which you ended up doing beautifully before then continuing this very, very nice sell-off. So remember yesterday on our London stream, guys, we said if you start closing back above, pushing up into here, why? Because I would imagine a lot of people are probably trying to sell here on gold. On gold. See, I'm too used to saying gold. A lot of people probably trying to short here, stops above. So you had this very nice run up into these highs, failed to close above all of this resistance, which is also pretty interesting. Failed to close above, gap down today, and a very, very, very nice push down. But if we just have a look at where we're currently sitting, could we see more downside? Yes, we very likely could. However, look at where we're at right now. We're at some very, very, very big 4-hour levels. So this could give us a little bit of a pullback before potentially squeezing lower and coming down into these current 4-hour lows. So I'll be looking for a little bit of a pullback here. And then you may get some continued selling here on NASDAQ. It was a very, very... Did anyone catch the shorts? I know you guys on Zoom don't trade. Any guys on YouTube actually take these shorts? It was a very, very big push down. 6 a.m. London time as well. Huge, huge, huge push. Oh yeah, sitting on 5NQ short. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, if you guys did get the short, well done. It was a really, 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 really nice push. Yeah, you do have this big gap up here as well, which is very interesting. You got big gap above. You are at some major 4-hour levels. It's too early for me to say that, you know, we're going to come and retrace this whole entire move. Could we? Yeah, maybe. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't like to think that far ahead. What I would be looking at is these are also some major, major levels. So you're kind of now going to be in a little bit of a range from, you know, these big areas. And I'm just drawing these zones based off these wicks to the left. Like these are big, big, big levels. Big, big, big levels. So I'll be looking at these as probably a bit of a range here for most of the London session after you have had such a big push down. Could you come down and retest these 4-hour lows? Yeah, very possible. I wouldn't want to be a buyer here, that's for sure. Which reminds me, let me just quickly show you guys. If you guys remember yesterday, guys, when gold was looking very, very, very bearish, here, if we have a look here, remember guys, remember I was saying yesterday that if I can just, let me just hide the rest so we can actually see it, because it's important, because it's similar to what NASDAQ's doing right now. If we just ignore this, it's hasn't hidden it very well, but there you go. If we ignore everything to the left here, guys, remember this candle here. Remember, this was the candle that we were actually shorting. And remember I was saying to you guys, you know, a lot of you guys were saying, oh, can we take shorts on gold, you know, if you maybe didn't get the short where we did. And remember I was saying, before, you guys can go back and watch it because it's very important. I was saying to you guys, you know, before these were huge wicks, like before this was a massive wick, this was, you know, it's easy to look at this, but oh yeah, that wasn't, you know, that was an easy buy. But before these were huge wicks, these were incredibly bearish candles, incredibly bearish candles. And if you had tried to chase that before you actually get the closure, you would have got stopped out every single time. So as I was saying to you guys yesterday, and a lot of people were looking for shorts, is when this candle was like all the way down here looking, where are we? Let me just draw it on for you guys because it's important. I want to share some value with you guys here today with gold at all-time highs. So this candle here at the time when we were on our stream was very, very, very bearish. And a lot of you guys were saying, you know, can I short this? Can we take these sells? And what I was saying is actually wait for the candle to close. And candle closures are very, very, very big on gold. Candle closures are very, very important on gold. Because if you try jumping these sells right before the candle closed, and I've sometimes seen it, you know, this could look like a huge bearish candle, maybe 5 minutes before the hourly is going to close, you literally get that huge bullish push, traps in a lot of early sellers, and then ends up closing perfectly holding this support. So remember guys, I was saying, you don't want to sell this level on gold until you actually close below, because at any point, this could wick back higher. And one of the guys in Discord actually took some fantastic buys, which was very, very, very nice here. What did you do? You were at the massive hourly support. Let me just fix up these zones. You were at the hourly support, you liquidated a lot of lows, and then you actually broke out, and you were buying off the hourly support. And in that 1 5-minute candle, that was a nice 40 tick retracement. So very, very key there on gold yesterday, what we were saying on stream. And the reason I say that is, what was I saying here on NASDAQ? You know, although it may look like, you know, we're bullish now and we're going to break higher. Remember, similar to, where have we gone? Similar to what we just said on gold, you know, before these were massive wicks, these were incredibly bullish candles. And if you had tried to chase these before the closure, you know, you would have got squeezed out. So would I want to be a buyer here on NASDAQ after the 4-hour has just aggressively broken back below this level? Not really, because at any point, this candle here still has 3 hours until it's going to close. So could this just be one big massive top wick, and by the time the 4-hour closes, you know, we end up squeezing much lower and this is just a massive wick? It's possible, right? It's very, very possible. We don't know what's going to happen. But one thing that I do know is, keeping that high time frame in mind, I do know that I don't want to be a seller here. Sorry, I don't want to be a buyer here on gold. I don't want to be a buyer here on NASDAQ, because before these wicks were massive wicks, these were very, very bullish candles. And if you had jumped in before the closure, you would have got squeezed out literally every single time. So if this looks like it's going to be really bullish and it's looking like we're going to break above, just wait for the closure. Candle closures are very, very, very important. So yeah, NASDAQ, you could squeeze down and maybe come down and retest these 4-hour lows. Got two nice little equal lows here as well. But we are in a bit of a range. There was a fantastic sell-off here, so I wouldn't really want to be trading against this. The only way I would be looking to buy for a potential gap fill would have to be an aggressive closure above, on at least the hourly. With the 4-hourly closing bearish, this hourly massively breaking through the levels, you know, a 5-minute break to the upside isn't going to be enough to want to trade against that higher time frame. You want to be keeping in mind, you know, what are these? It doesn't matter. You know, obviously we're not looking to trade for the next 4 hours. We are looking to intraday trade, but it's very important to understand what your higher time frame is doing in order to be able to drop down to the lower time frame and know what to look for. You've got the London Open here as well, guys. So let's see if we get some volume and some movement on gold as well. But yeah, one thing you guys don't want to do is just, you know, open your charts, go straight to the 5-minute and start, you know, looking for longs and then looking for sells and just getting chopped up all day long. That's one thing that I kind of messed up on a lot when I first started day trading, is opening my charts, going straight to the 5-minute and trying to trade every 5-minute breakout, and you just get manipulated all day long. So I have my higher time frame analysis, and then I use my lower time frame for execution. So one of you guys said, which time frame are you actually putting your trade on? 15, 30, or 5? A lot of analysis is done on the 30-minute. And executions on the 15 or 5-minute. It depends. It honestly depends whichever's looking cleanest. You know, the sales we took on our stream yesterday. Where was the sales we took yesterday? Where did we get short yesterday, guys? Oh, sorry, 15. We got short yesterday off and they all kind of work in confluence. So we got short yesterday here on stream off a 15-minute closure above and a break back below and a sell. But it was also still based off, you know, this 15 closure was the last 15 of the 30. So I know that if this is the last 15 of the 30 and this closes bearish, well, guess what? That 30-minute time frame is going to be leaving a nice wick. So here, see? A nice wick rejection. So, you know, when price is all the way up here, I'm dropping, you know, as price is looking really bullish, what I'm doing is I'm dropping down to the 15-minute, keeping in the back of my mind that we are at big 30-minute resistance. Therefore, I don't get trapped in these longs. And this is what I was saying. I don't take these longs. Why? Because I know we're at 30-minute resistance. So what I do wait for is a nice candle closure back below. Because I know this 15 closure back below is price holding higher time frame resistance. Therefore, I can take my sells. So I you know, I don't really have a exact right or wrong answer, as, you know, I only trade this time frame. I execute, you know, on the 15 and 5-minute, but a lot of my analysis is done on a higher time frame. You know, what determines if I take a trade on the 5-minute or the 15? It depends how clean it is, to be honest. You know, as soon as I saw this 15 fake out, I was like, well, there's no real point in dropping down to the 5-minute. You know, this looks good. I'm just going to take a shot at these sells, and that was the trade. And that was the one we took here yesterday as well. So it depends. Sometimes, you know, if I look at the 15, I'm like, oh, it's not the best 15 close. I'm like, oh, let me see if I can drop down to the 5-minute and maybe refine my entry a little bit. But sometimes you don't need to, you know. Could I have refined this yesterday on the 5-minute? Yeah, maybe I could have waited for this breakout and shorted here, but I was like, yeah, you know, I got a decent 15 confirmation. I don't need to over refine. Yeah, look at this gold. London Open here, squeezing higher, holding this support. Very, very nice pushing, guys. Remember, this is the open of the hourly, and there's currently no bottom wick. There's no bottom wick on this hourly. So no bottom wick means it can be created at any point. So would I want to buy up here and try and chase this? Not really, because at any point, you know, you can, it's not to say you will, but you can pull back and create a bottom wick, which would send me minus 30 ticks instantly. How do you approach the day with no bottom wick? That's a good question. This is not something we spoke about this morning. But you kind of see you do have a little one here as well. But honestly, with gold being so bullish, it wouldn't be enough for me to not take a trade. You know, I do love to see candles have a little bit more of a bottom wick. But with gold being so bullish, the fundamentals being so bullish on gold, if my lower time frame is breaking out, which it was this morning in the Asian session, I don't really worry about it too much, to be honest, man. Obviously, you know, buying into these highs would have been lovely. Did I know we were going to continue ripping up this much? Absolutely not. Otherwise, I would have traded it. But if there is no bottom wick on the daily, you know, if I buy into these highs, I'm understanding that we could potentially buy these highs and then pull back before going higher. So if I take buys from here, I'll probably just exit at these highs. It's very easy for me to look back and be like, oh no, you know, I would have held this up and I would have squeezed out 500 ticks. I know I wouldn't have. I would have been exiting at these highs because I know above these highs, you could come down and create that daily bottom wick. But on a lower time frame, I wasn't really thinking about it too much. I was knowing that gold was so bullish. So yeah, I would have just been following that. Try not to think too much. You know, if we're breaking up and breaking higher, just react to that. EU, yep, absolutely. We can have a look at the euro as well for sure. Can you explain how you draw your rectangle tool through? Can you explain how you draw your rectangle through the wicks, please? Yeah, sure. So I like to do these rectangle levels, and I just like to try and incorporate as many wicks as I can, because these wicks are what tell me a true story. These wicks are what, for instance, if I was doing this one, you know, all I'm doing, you know, let's say if price is here right now, I'm not looking here. My eyes are always starting, which obviously you guys can't see as I'm doing it, but my eyes are always working from the left and making my way right. So I'm looking at these wicks here. These wicks, I want to incorporate these. Well, these ones look nice as well. These are telling me something. So would I draw my zone here? Well, if we got some nice wicks here, these are telling me something. So let me just bring it down here a little bit. I want to incorporate these. Oh, cool. This is matching up nice now. So if I keep dragging this close, oh, wow. Look how nicely this is matching up. So I'm kind of starting here and working my way to the right when, you know, price is here. When price is here, I want to be looking at this. So once you see these nice, yo, cool, it's being respected, we broke below it, aggressive break back above, cool, there's my buys. Hey Jaden, what's going on? Welcome back, guys. So yeah, I'm just trying to incorporate as many wicks as I can. I don't really like to cut through bodies when I'm doing these zones. The only time I'll cut through the bodies is if it's a fake out or, you know, a nice breakout. Here you broke out, here you broke below and broke back above, so a nice fake out. You know, I wouldn't like have the zone like this, for example, when you got, like, you know, loads of bodies going through it here. Just doesn't really need to be that high. I want to look at the most recent levels, and that's these wicks, and this fake out here. And that was what fueled that incredible push up yesterday in the New York session. Just a very, very simple, a nice previous resistance created on Monday. Yeah, on Monday. Nice breakout yesterday in Asia. Held it, broke below, brings in a lot of sellers. I didn't have a downside bias to want to short this yesterday. Now, why did I not take this breakout? Here, this is the key. A lot of people were talking about sells on gold yesterday. If any of you guys were on TopstepTV, I was posting in the chat that gold was looking nice to come up into that 32.52 level. Sorry, 32.50. So when I see this break back below, it's not to say that gold couldn't push down into here. I wouldn't really care too much about that, but it's more so the fact that I have this double top up here, and I'm trying to imagine that a lot of people will be trying to take that breakout and trying to short. But if you try and short this, it's like, you know, you're trying to short into such big levels of support. You know, you've got big resistance here as well. At any point, this trade could have gone against you. So what I'll do is wait for price to break back above, and then fantastic. Then I can get my longs. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the charts this late in the day, so I didn't get this really nice push. But it was nice to see the analysis playing out and seeing my liquidity levels get hit beautifully. And you came all the way up into them highs. And I wouldn't have held this into all-time highs. That would have been my exit. And that was about 140 tick trade, which is very, very, very nice. One contract, 140 ticks is like $1,400 on gold. Just trading one contract. Very, very nice push. But it required a lot of patience yesterday, that's for sure. Let's have a look. Euro USD, let's have a look. So Euro USD, for anyone who is moving to futures, is just the Euro futures. Let's have a look. We had some very nice buys on the Euro. You guys who were back on this stream last week, we spoke about this trendline liquidity. A lot of people trying to short this. We had this incredible push higher. So all of these levels have been grabbed. So let's do some kind of similar thing, to be honest. It looks like you're doing something pretty similar. Look how similar this looks to what we just saw here. You're breaking out of this nice trend line. And Let's have a look. The daily is pretty bullish. Weekly, again, pretty bullish. Nice previous weekly high. Looks like a pretty good target. So, decent 4-hour breakout here as well. So would I want to be a seller here on the euro? Not really. I want to continue buying this. This to me looks good. Just locked out over 700. Nice, nice. But I can't not stick around for the stream. That's what we like to hear, Alex. Appreciate you tuning in. That's what we like to hear. Good job on the 700 on the day as well, man. Well done. 700 a day is incredible. So euro, would I want to be a seller here on the euro? Not really. This has just had a pretty decent breakout, so I'd want to be looking to buy this. Now, where would I want to be a buyer if I'm not already in this? Probably back down here, to be honest. It's not to say that we have to come back down here, but to me, I wouldn't really want to be buying this high. Because if I start buying from here, you know, we are coming into some big resistance. What I do like is we are creating some liquidity. I don't believe, did you grab it? Well, we're going to zoom in very, very close here. Nah, not quite. Got pretty much a nice double top there. So I'd be looking for price to see if you can pull back and then continue buying. And these weekly highs look very nice here on the euro. Very, very nice. Look at this. Nice big trend line coming down. Look at this. Mark on all these trend line points. Why? Because this would be a level where a lot of people would be trying to short here. Stop sitting just above. Looking for this big play down. So same, very exactly the same concept here is big trend line coming down. What are most people trying to do? Most people are probably trying to short this trend line. Where does the stop go? Just above the previous high. So pretty much the exact same thing here on the euro. A lot of people are trying to sell here. Still probably trying to sell here. You know, maybe selling again. Where they're going to sit stops. Probably just above here. So I would be looking for the euro to have a little bit of a pullback. Maybe bring in some more sellers. And then see if you can squeeze higher. What is also this zone that we also keep speaking about? This to me looks like a pretty decent inverse head and shoulders as well. Nice level to hold. Nice neckline being formed. So could you measure this move up? And see if you can line this up into them weekly highs? Yep, looks pretty nice. Back up into them weekly highs. So with that being said, if you're looking for a retracement back down to here, could you maybe take some intraday shorts back down? Because this is one thing that I did in the beginning that costed me a lot of money. One thing I did in the beginning, guys, is I would do my analysis like this, and then I would wait for price to get down here. Sometimes, you know, I'd wait a couple of hours, I'd wait maybe a couple of days, and then I'd end up, you know, just getting stopped out or, you know, just wasting money. And there's nothing to say that when you can't come down here, you do just, you know, maybe break lower before squeezing higher. So if you can see a reason, you know, say if I like shorts down into here before squeezing higher, well, rather than me just waiting for price to get down here, see if you can get opportunities to squeeze higher. Is there a reason to do it just now? Not really. You're still breaking higher. But if you guys who trade euro can see a reason to squeeze this lower, yeah, maybe pull back some shorts into here, around this region. I'll be looking for some. I'll be looking for some nice longs. Euro's looking good to squeeze higher. Aaron Trade, your system is very useful. Good to hear. But it works best with the ranges. I mostly fail at range trading, so because today is a trend, do you find it more difficult to find trades? Not really, to be honest. Like, there's been some decent continuation plays on gold today. The continuation trades have been based off the same liquidity concepts. You just have to wait for the pullbacks. So, you know, here's your nice liquidity. You form all-time highs, you pull back, and then you continue buying. My continuation trades are, yeah, just waiting for price to find some resistance, pull back, grab some lows, and then continue buying. And you just keep targeting these highs. But the biggest thing is, so for instance on gold right now, look at what we did just there. What did we just say on gold, guys? There's no bottom wick on the hourly. Oh, it hasn't quite come down yet. It could still squeeze a little bit lower. So if I was looking for a continuation play today here on gold, I'd be watching these areas as a potential pullback to grab these lows and then continue buying. So you can absolutely take it on continuation plays. Kind of like all of last week. Last week we had some fantastic continuation plays. A lot of my continuation plays are kind of same as the sells we took yesterday. These fake out buys, break below, break straight back above. Cool. That's your nice fake out confirmation. A nice little grab of the lows here, squeeze higher. So if I have a bullish bias and we start breaking back below some levels, same as the longs yesterday, closes back below, cool, that's fine. I'll wait for price to close back above. As soon as you close back above, fake out, and then I can get my continuation plays. Fake outs are very, very nice on gold, like we've just seen. You've had some incredible fake out opportunities. Look at this, broke below, straight back above, huge push. No, you can look for it on any time frame. This was just a 5-minute example. You had it on the 30-minute yesterday here. You broke below, but straight back above. There's no exact time frame. It's whichever you think is looking the cleanest. The higher the time frame, the more confirmation. How's copper looking today? Yeah, let's have a look at copper. Why do you hide your balance just because you're streaming? No, not really. I just don't like to have it open. I usually have it open. It doesn't really, you know, I can. Here, I just don't like to see it. To be honest, like, you know, if I wasn't here with you guys, I wouldn't have any of this. I don't like to see any of this. I don't want to see my P&L because it shouldn't determine my trades. So all I want to see, and that's what I recommend to you guys, is change your P&L here so you actually see it in ticks and not monetary. Like I'm honestly, I don't look up here. I don't want to know what I'm up or down. I'll look at what I'm up or down on like the end of the week or, you know, the end of the month. Have I made money this month? Yes or no? I don't want to see trade by trade how much am I up, or day by day, hour by hour, because that's how so many people get glued to just trading the P&L. So I prefer just hide all of it. The reason I don't have these hidden is just so you guys can just see I haven't taken any trades today. But I would have these all hidden. I'd recommend you just have it all hidden. You know, don't focus so much on the P&L and, you know, how you perform trade by trade. You know, go back and look at your month. But oh, cool. How did I perform this month? Have I made money this month? Oh yeah, sweet. I'm up 2,500 this month. Fantastic. Don't judge yourself trade by trade. But yeah, let's have a look at copper. Let's have a look with Goldie ripping all-time highs. Oh, look at this on copper. Came up, held some resistance, still squeezing lower. Let's have a look at this. Let's clean up this analysis. Let's do some analysis from scratch here on copper. Yeah, you can actually you can change it. So you have it in yeah, here. Have it in ticks. Change it to ticks if you really want to. It's kind of, you know, doing as much as you can to remove that emotional attached to the money is really going to help you guys. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. How did we close yesterday on copper? Obviously, we know copper has been at major support, squeezing higher. You are coming into some big resistance levels here as well, which is why you're starting to have a little bit of a pullback. Yesterday's close, not really saying too much here. I would assume you're probably going to... Sorry guys, 2 seconds. Someone was trying to come in and get some signals, I think. So a little bit of chop here to start the week on copper. You know, yesterday didn't really say too much. Let's have a look at this 4 hours. So these are the daily lows here. There's a nice support being formed. We could trap in some, you know, if you pull back in here, trap in some early buyers where you can start to squeeze this lower. Again, you've had a pretty decent push down here. Pretty decent push down here. Again, 6 a.m. London time, very similar to when NASDAQ moved as well. I like these lows down here. So could you look for shorts into these areas? Let's have a look. Yeah, you could. Again, you know, with gold being so choppy, we can look at to potentially trade NASDAQ. I would trade sorry, NASDAQ. Now you guys got me saying NASDAQ. We could look at copper instead. Now, would I want to short it just yet? Not really. You kind of broke below the support. Grab lows, broke straight back above. Sorry guys, someone is persistent today. I don't know who's trying to get in. Sorry, what was I saying? So yeah, could you look for some sells down into these areas on a is that the ice cream man? I wish it was the ice cream man. Could you look for sells down into these lows here? Yeah, you could, but I would like to see a closure back below this level. And then you do have a nice 70 tick push, which is nice. So closure back below here, and yeah, you actually could see some sells here on copper. You've had this really nice push down here, so I'd want to see a continuation lower. Otherwise, you may have a little bit more of a pullback. You kind of already have. You kind of came back into these areas. So I would look I'd like for a little bit of a closure below, and then yeah, you could see if you could short it. I would imagine a lot of people are probably trying to jump in these longs here. Stop sitting just down below. So you would yeah, see if you can squeeze that a little bit low. Let's keep an eye on that on copper. But right now, I wouldn't want to buy it just yet. Sorry, sell it just yet. Hourly's grab lows, closed bullish, but you have also tapped into highs. Nice resistance here as well. I want to see at least a 30-minute break back below. Same as gold. We'll confirm a fake out, and then we'll see if we can squeeze it lower. But it looks like, yeah, other than, oh, look at this. This is a very, 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 look at this. A lot of trendline liquidity being formed here as well, guys. I believe we had a trendline play on Friday. Was it Friday? Was it last Friday? There was a nice trendline liquidity play. Same as the euro as well. I believe there's a trendline. Yeah, here. We spoke about these longs here on copper on Friday. Trendline, grabbing some lows, breaking out. So you could see, and this is a more higher time frame outlook, but we could see something like this. We come down, squeeze these lows, and then you can see if you can come and grab some of this trend line. Yeah, Friday, yeah. We had a very nice trend line play on Friday. So I'd be looking for something similar. I would look to, and I would scalp this down. I'll see if I can day trade this down into here, because that's still, that's a 45 tick move. Copper moves at 12.50 per tick, so that's still, a good opportunity to sell it down before going higher. So we'll keep an eye on this on copper. Copper's looking more tradable than gold today, that's for sure. Yep, look at platinum. Yep, absolutely. Let's have a look. What are we up to? So these were when did we speak about this? We spoke about this on the 11th. Continuing to buy. I've never actually traded platinum personally. I'll try and give you guys a bit of a neutral outlook. So obviously, huge weekly support. Let me just go on the higher time frame. Huge weekly support. Massive weekly support. No bottom wick on this weekly though, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if it does that very often. Yeah, it kind of looks like it does. Not much of a bottom wick. No bottom wick. Not much of a bottom wick. So massive support being held, squeezing higher. If we just follow the dotted line where price is right now, look at this. Big weekly levels. We're sitting around some nice numbers. What, 970? Nice psychological level there as well. So potential weekly resistance. However, this daily is looking pretty bullish. Yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, absolutely. Daily is looking bullish. So would I want to short that weekly resistance? Not really. I want to be following the markets, not fighting them. So this to me to continue up into highs looks pretty nice, because I've never traded this personally, but these highs look pretty nice. What's the lower time frame looking like? A little bit choppy. I would say buys on the breakout back above here. Nice fake out of this level, and then see if you can scalp it higher. And then what happens above these highs, I'm not too sure, but above these highs I do know that we are at massive weekly resistance. Massive weekly resistance. So yeah, potential is a little bit choppy. I personally think copper's looking nicer. This is a bit of a choppy range. You could squeeze higher. You just came down, you held a lot of support, grabbing some lows, which is a pretty decent hourly closure. But I would have to see probably a bit of a breakout. Look at that, nice. Again, you kind of got a nice little fake out there as well. Again, I've never traded this, but it's nice to see it's following the same principles. You broke below, broke straight back above, starting to squeeze higher. But again, big resistance, which you don't want to set yourself up for failure. And what I mean by set yourself up for failure is if you take a buy here and you measure that resistance is right here, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? So I wouldn't. It's a little bit tough. Could you pull back a little bit? Yeah, maybe. But with that hourly closing, kind of respecting support, respecting resistance, it's pretty choppy, which from what I have briefly seen on platinum, it can chop a lot. So I'd be waiting for a bit of a breakout here. I don't like this range. I think you're going to get much cleaner opportunities than this range. If you break back to the downside, cool, you got a nice hourly wick fill, especially you're grabbing highs. So closure below the support, nice hourly wick fill, potential to come back down to here. This range here would be a little bit of a no trade range for me. Hey Aaron, nice system. Thank you. I like the aim for short 2-point scalps as you don't leave your trade on directionally. It's different as most GC traders want a bigger piece of the pie. Yeah, 100%, man. Like, that's kind of, you know, I used to do that a lot in the beginning. Where's all our analysis comments on the normal GC chart? Yeah, you know, I used to be the one that would, you know, try and buy down here and then try and get out all the way up here, which, you know, is fine, but I just don't get them opportunities very often. Whereas if I actually just take my intraday opportunities on gold, I get opportunities pretty much every single day. Now, do I execute on them every single day? Of course not. But I pretty much get opportunities to follow my plan every single day here on gold. There was like, you know, opportunities in Asia, London, and New York yesterday on gold. So I'm all about, you know, I'm all about just coming in and getting, you know, getting my piece of the pie. Because if I see gold here today, you know, rip up 700 ticks, and if I'm swing trading and I haven't got that, I'm going to be annoyed, because that's, you know, when's the next swing opportunity going to come in after that? It's going to be quite a while. However, if I'm, you know, day trading 20, 30, 40 ticks on gold, well, I get that every day. Even if gold rips 1,000 ticks today, guess what? Tomorrow, I'm still going to be able to come on the charts and get my 20, 30 tick scalp. So I'm all about what I can get out of the markets and how often I can get it. I used to swing trade, but when I was swing trading, I just felt like I was actually more stressed and spending more time watching the charts. And if I didn't get these buys up here and gold just ripped, I'm like, well, nothing I can do now. That's, you know, that's my swing trade gone for the week. Whereas today, you know, if I don't get these buys up, which I haven't taken a trade here today, yeah, I'll still get my scalp maybe into New York session or into tomorrow. Who cares? You know, gold, 30 to 40 ticks on gold, a good couple of times a week is very, very realistic as well. Very, very realistic. And you want to be stacking up the consistent wins. Get consistency, take your piece, you know, 200 ticks, 90 ticks, 50 ticks, 30 ticks, 37 ticks, and be happy with that. And, you know, you copy these accounts and you do that consistently, man, more than enough, more than enough, more than enough. You know, I think people are so focused on having the biggest risk reward and having the perfect entry and, you know, catching this whole entire move. Whereas for me, I'm like, no, I don't really put that pressure on myself. If I get it, you know, and I do catch this move, fantastic. You know, that comes with just being in it at the right times. But if I don't get it, do I care? Not really. I'll still get my my trade at some point today or tomorrow. If I don't take a trade at all today, that's also fine. Have a look at BTC. Yep, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I know you were bouncing off some big 75 levels. Oh, nice, Jesse. Let me have a look at this short. Grabbing highs. Yeah, having a bit of some nice resistance here again. You got 85,000 just here as well. One thing I do like to do if I look at Bitcoin is look at these psychological levels. So 85,000, very nice level. I know we did just bounce off, was it 75, I believe? Did we come as low as 70? I'm not too sure. Yeah, nice bounce off 75. So two very, very nice bounces here. How's the higher time frame looking? It's kind of at some big make or break levels. Look at this, massive, massive, massive resistance here. Big support, but also massive resistance. So looking for pullbacks from here looks nice. Now, I've never intraday traded Bitcoin. I've had lots of Bitcoin plays, but never intraday traded Bitcoin. How did yesterday, look at what did we do yesterday? Yesterday we came up, we grabbed the previous daily high, never closed above the resistance and squeezed lower. So could you be looking for a bit of a pullback here to maybe come down and hold maybe 82s? Yeah, I think that would be a pretty logical idea. So if I was going to short this, yeah, you got some nice lows down here as well. Some liquidity sitting down here. Previous 4-hour lows. Nice 30-minute breakout coming in here as well. So as long as you hold below this, again, I don't trade this personally. I'm going to trade it on my fund accounts here. Yeah, I think to, oh, maybe not that much. To squeeze into these lows, Looks pretty decent. Let me just have a quick look at copper so we're not missing anything on copper. Did we get that 30-minute fake out? Not quite. Copper in a bit of range. I want to see closure back below here to short. So no sells on copper just yet. Yeah, I like Bitcoin to squeeze a little bit lower. We had that fantastic daily bounce off 85,000. You got some nice intraday lows down here. I'd like to see this squeeze down. Sorry, I'm just jumping in. Is there a link to an overview of the system, or is it explained as we go here? I do have some breakdowns on my channel, but you'll learn a lot just tuning in from here as well. We've called some, you know, we've been streaming here on Topstep for the past week and a half, and we've already called some incredible moves. We took a nice short yesterday. I would say if you're brand new, go back and watch yesterday's live stream, because we took some very, very nice sells around. I'll give you the timestamp so you don't have to go through all of it, even though it's probably valuable. We took sells on yesterday's stream at around 8 AM, the London Open yesterday. Kind of explained the system pretty well. But yeah, if you want to see more, I have plenty of trade breakdowns on my channel as well of trades that we've taken on stream, not just hindsight recaps, always of positions that we have taken. Goldie's still breaking high here, guys. Don't watch gold too much today, guys, until you have some pullback. Don't FOMO into gold. 250 off passing my eval. Any advice? Very nice. Well, firstly, good job, man. You've got this far, so you're doing something right. Now, the last couple of $100 can sometimes be the hardest. So what you don't want to do is put pressure on yourself to say to yourself, I have to pass this today. If you do pass today, fantastic, but follow the plan that has got you to this point. Don't think too emotionally. Try not to even say to yourself, you know, I'm $100 or I'm $200 off passing. Because then you start, you know, forcing trades and holding on to trades for too long. Trade the exact same way that you have been trading to get to this point. And if you pass it today, fantastic. If you don't pass it today, who cares? Don't go on tilt right at the last hurdle. Be patient. And again, this comes back to not trading the P&L. That's why I recommend you guys just hide all of this. Because if you look at your P&L all the time, the hardest part of passing, you know, the Topstep Combine is, you know, the last couple of $100. Because, you know, you're telling yourself, oh, sweet, you know, I've only got $100 more to pass and I'm going to do it today. Don't do it like that. Just trade as normal. And, you know, if you look at the end of the week and you go, oh, sweet, I've passed. Great, you'll get the email and then you know, oh, cool, I've passed. But don't try and do it right away. Stay patient and follow the plan. Follow what got you to this point. If you do it today, fantastic. If you don't do it today, accept that and that's totally fine. Remember, even if you do it next week, by next week or into May, guess what? You're a funded Topstep trader, and that's a great achievement. So take your time with it. Don't force it. There's absolutely no rush. If you rush it and force it, there's a high chance you'll go and tilt and blow it. But don't be too patient as well. You have to find a balance. You don't want to hesitate. That's why I say just follow the plan. Don't think about the P&L or don't think about how far you are away from passing. Just trade the charts. Just trade what's right in front of you. If you get an opportunity to take a nice trade today on whatever it is you trade, execute it as normal. Try not to tell yourself that, you know, I'm about to pass, so I need to take it today. Don't think of it like that, because you'll put a lot of unnecessary pressure and stress on yourself. And I've had it plenty of times. You know, I could be $200 away from passing, and that is the hardest part, and mentally it gets to you. So, like I say, it comes back to trading the P&L, not the charts. Just trade the charts. If you have an opportunity, doesn't matter where you are at on your combine or where you are out on your funded account, you just take the trade. Same as me, you know. One thing I used to mess up with a lot is on, you know, to get the consistency, you have to have 5 $200 green days. I would look at myself day by day and put all that pressure on myself of, you know, I'd be up 150 on a trade and I would end up holding it because I knew I had to get that 200 and then I'd get stopped out on the trade. I trade as normal. I trade the charts. And like I said to you guys, I look back at the end of the month and I go, oh, sweet. How many have I got this month? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, cool. I could have a payout this month. I don't go, oh no, I have to have this many green days. I just look back and go, oh, have I hit that many green days? Yeah, oh cool, sweet, I can get a payout now. Same as this account here that I've been trading since January. This was the this is the payout that I took last week. You know, I just trade the charts. I don't focus on trying to make sure I hit all of these green $200 days. I just trade. I look back at the end of the month. And I go, oh sweet, I've made enough days to get my payout. Let me take a payout. But if I haven't, who cares? That's fine. This balance isn't going anywhere. I'll do it next month, or I'll do it whenever the markets give me an opportunity to do so. But what you guys don't want to do is, like I say, honestly, that's the reason I highly advise you guys to hide all of this, change this to ticks, and just trade. If you focus too much, oh, now looking fancy. If you trade too much the P&L, I promise you guys it will hold you back. Just focus on taking good trades and being the best trader that you can be, and I promise you, you will get there a lot quicker than focusing so much on the P&L. Just focus on the charts. Doesn't matter what level you're at or how far you are away from getting a payout or getting funded, just trade the charts. If there's an opportunity for you to take your trade today, take it. If there isn't, cool, who cares? Thoughts on shorting copper to 4535. 4535. 4535. That is back down here. Yeah, that's nice, man. Yep, that's the lows I have. That's the lows I have there. Same lows as me. I do like the sells. However, I'm personally comfortable waiting for a closure back below here, because you close back below here, the move's going to be confirmed, and you have great targets. And I also like these lows as well. These are 4-hour lows, because this is a big level of support. Look at this. You broke above, huge break back below, massive fake out level. You broke below, broke back above. So, last time we closed back above this level, you had a really nice push. Look at this. You held it and had a massive push. Here, you broke above it, had a really nice push. So, if you do close back below, shorts are looking good. Shorts are looking good. But I would wait for the sells. And if you do wait for the sells, you might be, oh, I don't want to wait that long. Well, if you wait for the sells, you got a minimum of a nice 50 tick range. Well, at $12.50 per tick, that's, it's a $600 trade. I am more than happy to wait for that. So don't jump the gun just yet. You're kind of breaking above these levels. If anything, we should be reacting to the fact that you broke below, you tried to hold below and then broke back above. So although, I do think, again, this is the key word, I do think that you can grab these lows, but I only react off what I think once the market show me that what I'm thinking could be correct. And that will be in a form of a closure back below. The markets will show me, oh, cool, what I'm thinking could come into play, then I'll take my shorts. But what I won't do, and again, this is just me personally, don't let me talk you guys out of a trade, it's just me sharing my thoughts. What I won't do is start selling now. You've grabbed lows, you've closed back above. So if anything, I should be reacting to the fact that we're holding above this level and we could squeeze higher. And if you don't close back below and we don't grab these lows, well, who cares? I didn't take the short, I didn't take the loss. But if we do close back below, fantastic. We'll give shorts a stab. Thoughts on silver? Yeah, we can have a look at silver. We can have a look at silver. So yeah, these lows are nice. The reason I am watching these lows is you had this very nice 4-hour fake out. But what did we also just do before this push up? Which I keep saying to you guys, what we just done? We've just grabbed the previous lows and now we're bouncing. So I don't want to be selling this just yet. At what point would I flip my bias? Which you may or may not be thinking. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. At what point would I flip my bias? If we start coming back to this trend line and rejecting, that would, to me, would be a fantastic buy. Because I know a lot of people are already probably trying to short here. And then at that point, then I can see if I can get my longs. So I would look for buys. Again, you have to be a little bit patient. It's only 2 hours. I would flip my bullish back to buys if we get the nice 4-hour bullish closure. After grabbing the lows and breaking back above this major level, then I'll be like, okay, cool. This is a nice fake out. We have a nice liquidity grab. These lows are not of interest of me anymore. Then I'll look for the longs and then I'll buy up into the trend line. Silver, let's have a look at silver. Give me 2 seconds. Let's have a look. I've never... SL, let's have a look. Well, at least you're not... What is it, SI? At least you're not at all-time highs like gold. At least you actually have price action to the left. Has silver come anywhere near all-time highs? I know it doesn't perform anywhere near as good as gold. Has it come near to all-time highs? Yeah, kind of. Wow, look at this though. This is a huge. I don't look at this often, so it's important just to have a quick look at this higher time frame. Massive, massive weekly support. What did you tap into? $28? Yeah, huge. Look at that. What a wow. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but that would have been a lovely bounce. $28. Look at that. Huge resistance, big resistance. Held it. So to me, silver's looking bullish. Silver is looking very bullish. At least back up into this weekly resistance around 33.5-ish. Again, that's just a high time frame outlook. Daily, just breaking higher, breaking higher. Squeezing back up here. So would I be selling this? No, I definitely wouldn't be selling this. So sells are off the card. So now half the hard part is done, knowing whether to buy or sell. Well, I wouldn't be shorting this, that's for sure. What did we just do before this push up? We came down. We liquidated some lows. We broke back higher. And now we're having a very, very nice run here. So I would say buys back up into about 33. Look nice. Would I buy it here though? Not really. You know, I don't trade this. I don't really know how it moves, but you already had that pretty decent 7 a.m. grab the lows and push. You want to be buying on the breakout, not as high as we are now. So we should have been in from there. So if we're not already in this, where would be my next buys? Maybe if you can pull back a bit. It wouldn't surprise me if you just keep squeezing higher, but what I wouldn't do is, if you guys aren't already in this, is chase it from here. Same as gold. So I'm being very, very patient on gold today, and like I say, I'm okay if I don't take a trade today. But what I won't do is chase gold up here, because there's no risk to reward, and that's, you know, a big component of my trading plan is I have to be able to get in with a good risk to reward and a valid stop loss. So if I can't get in silver right now with a good risk to reward and a valid stop, which I'll be looking to target this nice resistance level, well, where would the trade be invalid? If you start closing back below here. So in terms of a risk to reward, would this make any sense to start chasing this? Definitely not. But from here, you know, in hindsight, I don't trade this, but that would have been fantastic. You've got your liquidity grab, which is your valid stop, and you're looking to play this high. You got 4.5 as well. Now that's a good trade. So silver probably squeezing higher, but again, it's not what I would trade there. I'd be very careful today, guys. I'd be very, very careful. Let's have a look. Is NASDAQ finding some resistance? Yes, you're holding that 4-hour resistance. You just came up and grabbed the previous hourly highs. So it could be a nice reason to sell it. Look at that nice 30-minute close. It came up, grabbed the highs, nice 30-minute close. Let's get rid of this little level here for a second. This low here, guys, the reason I have this plotted on is because I believe, was it the 4-hour low or was it an hourly low? Yeah, 4-hour low. So yeah, one of those nights I'm just happy to finish green. Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. It's definitely no, I wouldn't go too crazy today, guys. And also, like I said, guys, like, be comfortable not taking a trade every single day. You guys, I would assume a lot of you guys are looking to get into trading for the freedom aspect. So you have to be okay with taking that step back. Otherwise, if you try to go full time in trading, you're just going to be stressed 24/7. It's going to be the worst career in the world. Now, this does look good to push lower, though. This does look good. You came up, you grabbed some highs, you closed nice and bearish. If you get a nice closure back below here, sells look good. Sammy is my dog is behind me snoring. I don't know if he's snoring because of the markets today or he just had a tough day. It's a hard day being a dog. Yeah, I'd say nice closure back below here, and there's a high chance you'll come down and fill in this previous hourly wick, and you can continue pushing much lower here as well. Easily push back down. Oh, look at that, nice fake out, broke below, break back up. Nice to see the plan following there as well. Yeah, these markets have put Sammy to sleep. Sammy missed his gold all-time highs buys, so he's fast asleep. So yeah, closure back below. I think you can see the squeeze lower. I'd like to see a break back below again. Look at where we're at. Look at these wicks. These wicks tell us something. These wicks tell us we're at massive levels. So if you can start maybe even, you know, maybe if you start re-breaking this low, if you re-break that low, you can see if you can squeeze lower. Yeah, same as gold today, guys. Like, you know, I jumped on our Asian market call this morning, and then, you know, I was like, well, we're already here. We were basically already here. I was like, there's a high chance you're probably just going to squeeze it from here. So when I saw it squeeze from here, I was like, well, that's my day done. I'm not here to trade every day. I'm here to trade for freedom. So I went out and enjoyed my day. And you know, gold ended up, so I just broken my screen. What have I just done? Gold ended up squeezing up, you know, much higher than that. But do I care? Not really. Not really. I'm still going to get my piece. I trade for freedom. So if I see gold ripping, well, I'm not going to chase all-time high. So let me go enjoy my day. Trade for freedom, guys. Don't trade to be a slave to the charts. The more you focus and the more you put that pressure on yourself, the more you're going to struggle. I don't take trades every single day, but I do take some nicer winners consistently, and that is by not trading every single day, and I'm completely okay with that. Can you have thoughts on entering on a 4-hour candle plays and riding the entire candle up and down, especially at the 10 AM New York candle? It depends if that's how you want to trade, man. I mean, on Topstep, we're trying to get in and out of our position in the same day. So sometimes when the market's, you know, on gold, if you range in a 4-hour time frame, you might have to end up holding closing a trade at a loss. Whereas intraday trading, you know, I'm not really trying to catch these big moves, and I can get in and out. It depends on your style and your personality, to be honest. There's no right or wrong way as to if you should trade the 4-hour or if you should trade the 5-minute. Yeah, gold new all-time highs again here, guys. This is huge. So unfortunately, you just have to kind of let it do its thing, guys. Don't chase it, because any point, you know, if you look to pull back into these resistance levels, you're talking 160 tick pullback. Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, find out what style works for you. You know, if you like maybe the more higher time frame plays, yeah, maybe you could look to trade the 4-hour. If you like the in and out moves, then, you know, focus on the 30-minute 15.5, for example. There's no right or wrong way to trade, to be honest, man. I personally prefer the in and out moves. The markets have been very, very nice, especially on gold for them in and out moves recently. But don't get me wrong, it's you know, it's easy to look at this move and be like, damn, if I had just traded this in the 4-hour, you know, I'd be making absolute bank right now. Well, the reality is you probably wouldn't be holding it this long. So don't look at this and be like, wow, I should have been in here and I should have been getting out right now. The reality is, even if you were in this, you know, you probably would have been getting out at this major resistance anyway. Don't you need to be at the charts all day in order to learn? No, absolutely not. You should, again, should you be watching live markets all day? Definitely not, because you're going to end up doing some stupid things. You're going to take loads of losses. But if you do want to get in, and you know, same as gold right now, like if we just sit here and watch gold, we are not learning anything right now. If we just sit here and we watch this go sideways, we are absolutely learning nothing. If anything, you're going to end up jumping in trades and getting squeezed out. So if you do want to put in the chart time to learn more, which is fantastic, you know, I used to spend a lot of time on the charts in the beginning, but what I didn't do is just sit here and watch live markets go sideways. That's detrimental to your success as a trader. So if you do want to spend more time on the charts, do some simulation sessions, do some backtesting, do something that's actually going to help you get better as a trader. Sitting in front of the markets and watching it go sideways for 8+ hours a day is not what is going to be, is not what's going to help you become a good trader. Watching this go up and down like this all day long and staring at these charts is going to make you jump in moves that you know you shouldn't be jumping in, and you're going to learn anything from that. So if you do want to spend more time on the charts to learn, which is a great idea, when the markets are going sideways, or you're not, you know, gold's at all-time highs, well, cool. Let me leave live trading for now and let me go do a simulation session, or let me go do back testing for an hour, because you're going to gain way more data doing that than just sitting here watching the markets go sideways. So yeah, absolutely. Chart time is key, but know when to watch the markets and when not to watch the markets. With gold peaking all-time highs right now, this is the time to accept it and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to do some simulation sessions. Watching this move up and down is not what is going to help you become a better trader. It's not going to build you any data to your plan. But yeah, do some simulation session, man. I used to do simulation sessions every weekend. Every weekend religiously, I would be doing simulation sessions and backtesting sessions, because I want to do whatever I can to build as much data as I can. I'll do a little bit of forward testing and plenty of back testing as well. ES had the best setup, did it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Obviously, you know, gold's not ranging. You could be like, well, what's he talking about? Gold's not ranging. But I mean, when gold's peaking all-time highs, as I mentioned earlier, you know how to trade it, which is not sat there watching it just rip all-time highs. You can get the FOMO. Wow, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Very, very, very nice. Good spot there. Again, looking just as good. There's that nice flip. Squeezing lower. Is NASDAQ re-breaking the lows? Yeah, nice. NASDAQ re-breaking the lows as well. I'll be looking to hold it down here. I've not traded NASDAQ on any of these funded accounts, guys, so today won't be the day where I will start trading them, but maybe we'll, like I said last time, we can fire up a combine to take a shot at these NASDAQ trades, but these lows look good here. Came up, grabbed the highs, held the resistance. Nice little fake out there as well. Broke above, broke straight back below. Squeezing lower. So that was the level where you start re-breaking the lows. So you could be looking for something like this. Again, I don't trade this very often, but it's actually moving very nicely recently. Very, very nicely. Looking to see if you can squeeze it down into there. Simulation session, just replay mode on TradingView. I personally don't like replay mode on TradingView. I like there's plenty out there. You can have a look into some. I like simulation software where I can actually take positions and play the candles in real time. Whereas if you do it on TradingView, it just kind of skips it forward and it's not as realistic. Whereas on a simulation software, you can take partials, you can move stops to break even, you can scale out of trades as well. You can actually set account balances and trade as if it's like a real market. You can skip it to the London session and start back testing gold during London and take real positions, take real stop losses, take real targets, and it plays it in real time. And you can speed it forward, but on TradingView, if you press skip, it just actually skips the candle. It doesn't show how the candle's forming in real time. Whereas there's plenty of simulation softwares where, you'll actually see the candle moving as if it was real, and you can actually, pause it, take your trade, and then continue playing and get your trades. There's plenty of good ones out there though. Look at this, lovely, lovely continuation sales here on NASDAQ, guys. If I continue watching NASDAQ, we're gonna get a bit of FOMO because I don't trade this, but it's looking very, very nice. Much nicer than gold, to be honest. With gold at all-time highs, I'll be very careful on gold today, guys. These hourly lows look like a nice target. Bring in some buyers. Probably see a squeeze a little bit lower. I like these lows here. See, some of you guys are. I believe some of you guys are in the shorts. Is that right? Some of you guys in the shorts. Look at that, grabbing hourly highs as well. 2 equal lows here. Yeah, this is a good level. Very, very nice push there. Should have been in that. Look at that. If this was gold, I'd be shorting that all day. That's a fantastic setup. That's a very nice evening star there as well. What are you running down? Yeah, beautiful. Some of you guys did short that, which is amazing. Well done. Yeah, I reckon there'll be a lot sitting below here. A lot sitting below there. But if I was in this from here, I'd probably be managing here. Did we have a look at oil? Let's have a look at oil. In the practice account, nice. Yeah, beautiful, man. Took the break of the low. Yeah, very nice. Awesome. It's good to practice though. Look at that, beautiful. Yeah, I want to fire up a practice account and see it. Very, very nice push down. You actually had a, what time frame is that? Is he on the, is that the 15 there? Or are you on the 5? It was a nice fake out there. Look at that. Had that nice, are you on the 15 maybe? Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Again, that's what we keep saying, guys. Same thing as gold. You broke above the resistance. You broke straight back below. There's your fake out confirmation. There's your squeeze lower. Very, very, very nice. Why is it so dark there? It's coming up to 6 PM here for me, man. I'm on the Gold Coast in Australia. 15, yeah, nice. Yeah, lovely, man, lovely. As soon as I see this 15 close back below, there's a very nice fake out. Like I say, this is moving very nice. I don't trade the NASDAQ often, but that is a very, very nice fake out. 564. Yeah, nice. 564 20 micros. Yeah, beautiful, man, beautiful. Good job, guys. Very, very nice push. Look at this. All you guys are taking trades without me. I thought we were creating a community and trading together. No one told me we were shorting. No, very, very nice push there, guys. Well done. Remember, guys, D will be on right after me as well. I knew it was going to be a little bit of a choppy day on gold today, guys. I wasn't really looking to trade today. But I think we still shared a lot of value here today as well. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. Yeah, break even's nice because you're coming into that support, but you could bounce a little bit. I would love to see it grab the lows, but remember, yeah, I correlate this between the ES. If the ES is grabbing the lows, then I'm looking to exit my trade. I trade this based on your bias. Well done, well done, good job. It basically followed the exact same plan that we used to trade gold. Who said copper's dropping? Don't tell me that. No, copper's, it is having a nice bounce off this resistance. We have sells below here on copper for price to come down into here. Copper could actually be really interesting. Really, really interesting. Yeah, you got some... yeah, with the signal, yeah, you guys are taking my signals, but... taking my analysis, but even I didn't take it. Hold on. So that's the outlook for the day, guys. I will wrap it up there. No trades for me today, guys. Gold is at all-time highs. I, haven't traded NASDAQ in all of these accounts, so I don't really want to start trading it right now, but it's nice to see it following the same plan as gold. Look at that, re-breaking the 30 lows was a really, really nice sell there. So remember, guys, D will be on right after me as well. I've been on for about an hour and a half here, so hopefully you guys got some value today. Remember, drop a like, subscribe to the Topstep YouTube channel, and we will be live again tomorrow for the final session of the week. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to go back and watch yesterday's stream where we actually took that trade, because it's very, very valuable and you guys will learn a lot. But appreciate you guys taking time to tune in. I will see you guys same time again tomorrow. Trade safe for the rest of the day, guys. Enjoy your quick little scalps. Don't hold too big of positions during these markets. And we'll recap tomorrow and we'll see how we go for the New York session. So trade safe, guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.